Well, so the government has this harebrained idea that they want to ban smartphones for those children under the age of 16 in view of the increasing violence seen in schools. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely a bold idea and it's got a lot of layers to it. On one hand, you can see where they're coming from, trying to reduce exposure to harmful content or distractions that might fuel school violence. But on the other hand, it's a pretty big overreach, and it's going to have a lot of practical challenges. You got the fact that smartphones are kind of a lifeline for kids in terms of staying in touch with parents, doing homework, and accessing information. So overall, I'd say it's an idea that's trying to tackle a real problem, but probably not in the most practical or balanced way.
Well, I personally think that banning won't be a good idea because kids will find ways around it. They will hide their phones and all that. And besides, for some, I think phones are the only computers they have at home as a means to access information and an aid or supplement to their education. It's not all bad things online, but there are many good things too.
Absolutely. I think you got a really solid point there. Kids are pretty resourceful, and if there's a ban, they'll likely find ways around it, whether it's hiding phones or borrowing them. Plus, like you said, for a lot of kids, their phone might be their main way to access educational resources and useful information, not just the bad stuff. So it's really about balance, finding a way to guide them toward the positive uses rather than just a blanket ban. It definitely seems like a more practical and constructive approach.
And besides, I think some parents will be upset because you can't communicate or get in contact with your kids. So, for example, if they're stranded in school, no transport, and they have no means of reaching out to their parents, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a huge factor. Parents would definitely be concerned if they suddenly couldn't reach their kids, especially in situations like that. When a kid needs a ride or there's an emergency, it's not just about convenience, it's about safety and peace of mind for families. So yeah, taking that into account, it really does make more sense to look for balanced solutions that let kids keep their lines of communication open, rather than just an outright ban.
Yeah, I think this outright ban is just a knee-jerk reaction on the part of the government without much thought. And I think it should be more selective measures to combat this growing violence. And I think we need to get to the root cause.
I completely agree with you. It does sound like a knee-jerk reaction, and these kinds of broad bans often skip over the real underlying issues. Selective measures, like maybe improving digital literacy, offering better mental health support in schools, or even working with social media platforms to manage harmful content, could make a lot more sense. And like you say, if we really get to the root causes of the violence, we can address them more effectively without just removing a piece of technology that also has plenty of benefits.
Yep, agree with you 100%.